WNBA better be very, very careful. I hope Caitlin Clark is not naive enough to believe that these attacks and allegations are only targeted at her fan base. WNBA players, in my opinion, they are sending a clear message to Caitlin Clark. We do not want you in our league.
Alyssa Thomas is in hot water after blaming Caitlin Clark's fans for racism following a tough playoff loss. Instead of owning up to her subpar performance, Thomas deflected, accusing Clark's supporters of racial hostility. But is this a diversion tactic? Let's break down how her comments are sparking controversy and potentially deflecting from bigger issues in the WNBA. Is this part of a larger pattern in the league? And what does this mean for the future of women's basketball? Following the Connecticut Sun's crushing playoff loss to the Minnesota Lynx, Alyssa Thomas made headlines not for her performance, but for her shocking post-game comments. Instead of addressing her struggles on the court, she accused Caitlin Clark's fans of racist behavior, a statement that caught everyone off guard. Thomas, who has been one of the league's most vocal players, didn't pull any punches, stating,
I think in my 11-year career, I've never experienced the racial comments from the Indiana Fever fan base.
Her statement quickly shifted the narrative. What should have been a discussion about her team's early playoff exit and her subpar performance turned into a conversation about racism in the WNBA. While Thomas didn't provide specific examples, her blanket accusations painted a broad picture, putting the entire Indiana Fever fan base, largely composed of Clark supporters, under scrutiny. Thomas's comments have left many wondering, was this a calculated move to divert attention from her performance? The Suns' early playoff exit, in large part due to Thomas's struggles, has been overshadowed by this controversy. Instead of being questioned about her game, Thomas shifted the focus onto a larger social issue, which is difficult to contest without evidence. This tactic isn't new in sports. Athletes, when under fire for their on-court or on-field performances, sometimes redirect attention to other issues, often ones that resonate on an emotional level. In this case, Thomas might have aimed to turn the conversation toward racism and away from her own performance. While it's essential to address racism if it's genuinely occurring, Thomas's vague accusations without evidence leave many questioning her motives. Caitlin Clark's meteoric rise in the WNBA has garnered her a massive following. Her rookie season was nothing short of spectacular, setting records and helping lead the Indiana Fever to their first playoff appearance since 2016. However, with fame comes scrutiny, and Clark's fans have been vocal about their support. Thomas's accusations have placed these fans in the crosshairs. By suggesting that Clark's supporters are racist, she has ignited a firestorm on social media, with fans either defending themselves or fueling the narrative.
You know, we come to play basketball for our job and it's fun, but we don't want to go to work every day and have social media blown up over things like that. It's uncalled for, and something needs to be done, whether it's, you know, them checking their fans or this league checking. There's no time for it anymore.
It's also worth noting that Clark has remained silent on the issue, staying focused on her performance and deflecting questions about the controversy. Her professionalism has been applauded, but it's clear that this situation has left a mark on her fan base. This isn't the first time Alyssa Thomas and Caitlin Clark have found themselves at odds. During an earlier matchup between the Connecticut Sun and Indiana Fever, Thomas set a brutal screen on Clark, leaving her on the floor in visible pain. While the referees called an offensive foul on Thomas, the play was never reviewed for potential escalation to a flagrant foul. Many fans felt that Thomas had crossed the line with her physical play, but the league remained silent. In another incident, during a heated playoff game, Dijonai Carrington, Thomas's teammate, poked Caitlin Clark in the eye, leaving her with a visible black eye. Fans were quick to accuse Carrington of intentionally targeting Clark, but once again, the WNBA took no significant action. Clark, despite the injury, brushed off the incident, but her fans were less forgiving, demanding stricter measures from the league. These incidents have only heightened the tension between Thomas, Clark, and their respective fan bases, setting the stage for the latest controversy. The WNBA's handling of aggressive play, particularly involving its star players, has come under fire. Clark's fans are not only upset about Thomas's comments, but also about the league's perceived inaction in protecting Clark on the court. The Dijanai-Carrington eye poke incident is a prime example of this frustration. Despite clear contact that left Clark injured, no further investigation or penalty was handed down to Carrington. Player safety should be a top priority for any league, and when a star like Caitlin Clark is involved, fans expect the WNBA to act. The league's silence in both the Carrington incident and now with Thomas's accusations has left many wondering where the WNBA stands on these critical issues. By accusing Clark's fans of racism, Alyssa Thomas has not only ignited controversy, but also drawn attention to the WNBA's internal struggles. The league has worked hard to promote inclusivity, diversity, and equality, but Thomas's comments highlight a deeper division within the sport. It also raises concerns about how the WNBA manages public relations when one of its star players makes such serious allegations. In a league that is striving to grow its audience and promote its stars, incidents like this can be damaging. Clark has been hailed as the next big thing in women's basketball, and her fans are essential to the WNBA's success. If they feel alienated by the league or its players, it could hurt the WNBA's long-term growth. The WNBA has long been a platform for social justice, with players speaking out on various issues. However, this latest incident involving Alyssa Thomas has highlighted the challenges of addressing race within the league. It's clear that tensions exist between players, fan bases, and even the league itself when it comes to race and representation. Thomas's accusations, whether calculated or emotional, have opened up a conversation that the WNBA will need to address. How the league responds to this controversy will set a precedent for how they handle similar situations in the future. Will they side with Thomas and take action against Clark's fans, or will they remain neutral, risking alienation of a significant portion of their audience? Alyssa Thomas's accusations against Caitlin Clark's fan base have created a firestorm of controversy, leaving the WNBA at a crossroads. The league must decide how to handle not only Thomas's comments, but also the broader issue of player safety and how they address race within the sport. The silence from the WNBA on both the eye poke incident and Thomas's remarks is deafening. If they don't take action soon, they risk losing the trust of their fans and players alike. Caitlin Clark's rise has brought unprecedented attention to the WNBA. But if the league continues to ignore these pressing issues, they could find themselves in deeper trouble than they realize. Will the WNBA step up and address these concerns, or will they allow these controversies to fester? One thing is certain, the fans, especially those of Caitlin Clark, are watching closely, and the league's next move could determine its future trajectory.
And your 2024 WNBA Rookie of the Year is none other than Caitlin Clark. Caitlin, congrats. For you to do what you did this past season with all the crazy expectations you had coming out of college, you were better than advertised.
Caitlin Clark is shaking up the WNBA in ways no one could have predicted, breaking records and dominating the court like no rookie before her. But here's the twist. It's not just WNBA fans taking notice. Some of the biggest stars in the NBA are praising her game, and even they're in awe of her impact. From Victor Wembanyama to Luka Doncic, these NBA legends are all in on the Caitlin Clark hype. But not everyone's thrilled. Some WNBA insiders are throwing shade, raising the question, how far can Caitlin Clark go when even her own league has its doubts? Let's dive in and see how the basketball world is reacting to her meteoric rise. Caitlin Clark isn't just making history, she's rewriting the WNBA record books. She averaged 19.2 points per game during the 2024 season, along with 5.7 rebounds and a league-leading 8.4 assists per game, making her the clear frontrunner for Rookie of the Year. Her 337 assists set a WNBA single-season record, and her ability to orchestrate the offense was unparalleled. Clark didn't stop there. She also knocked down 122 three-pointers, breaking the rookie record for most made threes in a season. And if that wasn't enough, she became the first rookie in WNBA history to record 2 triple-doubles. Let's start with Victor Wembanyama, the San Antonio Spurs Rookie of the Year for the 2023-24 season. Despite his meteoric rise in the NBA, Wemby had nothing but praise for Caitlin Clark when she won the WNBA Rookie of the Year. In a powerful statement, Wembanyama said,
Victor, who's a WNBA player that inspires you, and what makes her stand out to you?
I think Caitlin Clark.
Finds Clark from the logo. Clark behind the back. Oh, it's Smith with the finish.
When she was in college, the only college player that I was really in awe of the game, you know.
Pulls it back, knocks it down.
I'm saying men and women's college basketball, she's probably the most impressive I've seen.
Clark, step back, hits a three.
This wasn't just respect. It was an acknowledgement that Clark transcends gender boundaries, inspiring athletes across the board. Wembanyama's comment is a testament to her undeniable impact on the sport, reaching far beyond the WNBA. Then there's Luka Doncic, who took a more personal approach in welcoming Clark to the Rookie of the Year club. Luka, who won the NBA Rookie of the Year in 2018-19, knows what it's like to enter a professional league with high expectations and deliver. He sent Clark a heartfelt message saying,
Caitlin, congratulations on an amazing season. Rookie of the Year is a big honor. You deserve it. Congratulations.
Doncic, who averaged 21.2 points, 7.8 rebounds, and 6.0 assists in his rookie season, saw a bit of himself in Clark's rookie campaign. Both players came in as game changers and immediately left their mark. But while Luka had his doubters, it seems Clark's rise has been met with equal parts admiration and skepticism, especially from some corners of the WNBA. Clark's rookie stats, 19.2 points, 5.7 rebounds, and 8.4 assists per game, weren't just good, they were historic. She was an all-star in her debut season, a feat few have achieved. Just like Luka became a 5-time NBA All-Star by the age of 25, it's clear Clark is on a similar trajectory in the WNBA. When it comes to mentoring rookies, few can compare to Chris Paul, the point god himself. Paul took to Instagram to congratulate Caitlin Clark and offer her sage advice about preparing for the future. Having won NBA Rookie of the Year back in 2006, Paul knows the pressure that comes with being a standout rookie. And he acknowledged that Clark didn't just meet expectations, she blew them away. He emphasized the importance of strength training, knowing that every year the league gets tougher, both physically and mentally.
And your 2024 WNBA Rookie of the Year is none other than Caitlin Clark. Caitlin, congrats. For you to do what you did this past season with all the crazy expectations you had coming out of college, you were better than advertised. Our friends over at State Farm asked if I would assist you in a few of the things that I learned coming from one Rookie of the Year to another, even though mine was 19 years ago. One of the biggest things after winning Rookie of the Year, because that's a big deal, first of all. That's a huge achievement and you should be proud. But going forward, I think the biggest thing I tried to focus on was getting stronger. I wanted to get stronger, I wanted to get faster, I wanted to be better on defense. But more than anything, I tell you, the biggest people that I leaned on was my family, my support system. That was always the group that kept me grounded. I would go back and hoop with all my homies that I played with in college and just try to remain a kid as long as I possibly could. What you did this past season was crazy. Most points by a rookie in WNBA history, most assists by a rookie in WNBA history, 3-time Eastern Conference Player of the Week, 4-time WNBA Rookie of the Month. I could go on and on, so shout out to you, Caitlin. It's been amazing to watch you hoop day in and day out, and not just to see the behind the back going left threes from deep, but more so just to see the passion and the joy that you play with and to see the way that you make your teammates better. So I just want to say congratulations.
Paul's endorsement wasn't just an acknowledgement of her talent, it was a passing of the torch, signaling that Clark is on her way to becoming a generational talent. However, Caitlin Clark's Rookie of the Year victory wasn't without its controversies. Shannon Sharpe, known for his candid takes, voiced his disbelief over the WNBA's voting process during his Club Shay Shay podcast. Clark was one vote shy of becoming the unanimous Rookie of the Year, as Chicago Sky's Angel Reese received a single vote. This kept Clark from becoming only the 5th player in WNBA history to earn a unanimous Rookie of the Year honor, and Sharpe was quick to call it out.
I don't know how you come to the conclusion that she wasn't the unanimous MVP. She got a team into the playoffs when they hadn't been to the playoffs, I think, since 2016 or 2017. led them in scoring. She led the rookies in scoring. She led them in assists. She averaged like 6 rebounds a game. She set records for scoring, rebound, assists. I mean, three-pointers.
He suggested that the lone vote against Clark was personal, likening it to the infamous Hall of Fame voter who left Ken Griffey Jr. off their ballot.
Who was the voter? Do you know? Anybody know?
Oh, it's going to get out. They're going to find out.
Expressing his disbelief and frustration with the process. Sharp also highlighted the fact that Clark led the Fever to the playoffs for the first time since 2016, whereas Angel Reese's Chicago Sky didn't even qualify. Despite Reese averaging a double-double with 13.6 points and 13.1 rebounds per game, Sharp emphasized that Clark's contributions went beyond the stat sheet.
When they got eliminated from the playoffs, the attendance dropped, the ratings dropped. Now I wouldn't need to know because it's the old guard and it's this and it's that. So what's the reason now?
The ratings have dropped since Fever had been eliminated?
Yes. Look at the attendance when the Fever play your favorite team and look at the attendance when they don't. Only the aces sell out every game.
Sharp pointed out, referencing the historic crowds Clark drew and the viewership boost she provided during the playoffs. Clark isn't just a great player, she's a ticket seller, a ratings booster, and the kind of talent the WNBA needs to push the league forward. But not everyone in the basketball world is as sold on Clark's impact. While NBA stars like Wembanyama, Luka, and Chris Paul are showering her with praise, some WNBA veterans have been more critical. They've questioned her ability to transition from college dominance to professional success. Yet those doubts seem to be fading in the face of her immediate impact. Wembanyama weighed in on the criticism, stating, "It's easy to hate on someone who's changing the game, but Caitlyn's work speaks for itself. People doubted me because of my height, but I let my play do the talking. Caitlyn's doing the same thing." His words are a reflection of his own journey, but they ring true for Clark as well. Those who challenge the status quo will always face pushback. Luka Doncic chimed in with his own perspective. "Look, I had my doubters when I came into the NBA, but I've seen enough to know that if you have the skills, it's only a matter of time before people recognize." Luka's words carry weight because he's been there. He entered the NBA as a young player with a lot of hype and delivered on it. Clark's in a similar boat, and if her rookie season is any indication, it's only a matter of time before she silences her critics completely. Chris Paul, always the mentor, had perhaps the most poignant take. "It doesn't matter what league you're in, talent is talent. Caitlyn is already one of the most exciting players to watch, and she's just getting started. She's going to do big things in the WNBA." Paul's confidence in Clark speaks volumes about how NBA players view her potential. So while there may be some doubters, the NBA's biggest names are fully on board the Caitlyn Clark hype train. With endorsements from Wembanyama, Luka, and Chris Paul, there's no denying that Clark is destined for greatness in the WNBA. The real question is, how far can she go? Will she continue to shatter records and redefine what it means to be a WNBA star? One thing's for sure, Caitlyn Clark is just getting started, and the basketball world, from the NBA to the WNBA, is watching her every move. So what do you think? Will Caitlyn Clark's impact grow even more as she continues to dominate the WNBA? Will we see more NBA stars supporting her rise? Let us know in the comments below, and stay tuned. There's no telling what Caitlyn Clark will achieve next.